Have you ever wondered what really makes a piece of jewelry valuable? Maybe it's the pawn shop you take it to. It is, but at the same time, its value comes from its name, its brand, its material, and even its history. Like watches, simple wristwatches that tell the time can become the ultimate treasure for a billionaire. Hello and welcome to Money Mind, where we talk about money and related things. Time is running out to start, so bring out your best watch, because today we will present the most expensive watches until this 2024. 10. Frank Muller Eternitas Mega 4, $216 million. How about starting with a real gem? With 1,483 individual components and a calendar that lasts up to 1,000 years, the Frank Muller Eternitas will leave you more amazed and confused than a parliamentary session trying to take attendance. It has been dubbed the master of complications by industry aficionados, thanks to the myriad of options that have been implemented. The Swiss watchmaker has managed to incorporate an unprecedented number of functions into the Mega 4, and the more options, the better and more effective they can be used. But we also have the presentation, which is nothing less than beautiful, with a sapphire crystal case and a piece of tourbillon on the dial. Before I forgot to mention that it costs $2.16 million. But if you think that's a high price, wait until you see what's next. 9. Patek Philippe 5004T, $3 million. Next on the list is unique, both figuratively and literally. I say this because there is only one, created in 2013 for an auction, in a titanium version of the beautiful, but somewhat unfortunate, Patek Philippe 5004 collection. Its sporty appearance puzzled more than one expert during its presentation. The Swiss are something with their classics. Nevertheless, it fetched over $3 million at auction and has since become a myth, or rather, a legend. 8. Louis Moinet Meteoris Collection, $390 million. And shining like gems on this list is the Louis Moinet Meteoris Collection, the ultimate tribute to Louis Moinet, the famous father of the chronograph watch born in the 17th century. But this is not just any watch. No, because it actually contains meteorite material. The Meteoris collection consists of 4 watches in all, and each watch features a unique piece of rare space rock. The Tourbillon Mars, for example, contains a fragment of the Jidad al-Harasis 479 meteorite, an authentic piece of Mars that fell to Earth 180 million years ago. It's worth noting that Martian meteorites can sell for up to $1,000 per gram, more than 15 times the price of gold. 7. George Daniels Yellow Gold Space Travelers 2, $4.1 million. To talk about the next one, we'll have to take a little trip back in time, to the mid-70s to be exact. At that time, Dr. George Daniels was visiting Zurich. Already known as one of the best watchmakers in Europe, he had recently created a particularly complicated watch mechanism. The most interesting thing about this piece is that it shows both side real time and regular solar time. Could you check your phone? Sure, but they say seeing it on this is much better. When you're on your combined trip to Mars, Dr. Daniels once said, you'll need a watch like this. And when you're using the phone for long-distance calls, you can switch the chronograph to side real time to cut your bills by 3,555 minutes a day. Well, any savings on calls to the in-laws could be thrown out the window in the case of the man who bought it for $4 million at Sotheby's in 2019. 6. Patek Philippe Gobi Milan Heure Universelle, $8 million. Now let's talk about a true masterpiece, and that is the Patek Philippe Gobi Milan Heure Universelle, praised by many. It is said that at least 40 cities around the world are involved in this 1953 creation. If you look closely, you will notice that the outer silver ring rotates around a blue ceramic center. This is said to indicate where night and day fall and rise around the world. All this in an 18-karat rose gold case. As of November 2019, the watch has been sold at Christie's in Hong Kong for a staggering $8.3 million. It's certainly a pretty expensive way to know if your boyfriend is ready to leave the house. If only we could maybe send them a message? 5. Patek Philippe Ref 1518 in steel, $10.3 million. The next one has been compared to the holy grail of watches, and that's because only 4 of them were made, the Patek Philippe 1518 in steel that was ever made, and when it was introduced in 1941, it was the first watch with an integrated calendar and chronograph. It is an incredibly complex, rare, and historically significant piece from a highly collectible manufacturer. It breaks world records on all levels. It is therefore understandable that it was sold at a Philips auction in Geneva for 2,000 Swiss francs, about $11 million, a world record for a wristwatch at auction that would be broken in November 2016. There were 7 bidders, and the watch surpassed the Patek Philippe 5016, which sold for 7.3 million Swiss francs, $6.5 million, at Only Watch a year earlier. 4. Jacob & Co. The Billionaire, $14.80 million. We saw this next model on Floyd Mayweather at his birthday party, and it has never ceased to amaze us. We're talking about Jacob & Co.'s The Billionaire watch, and frankly, we can't imagine anyone but a billionaire wearing it. The chronograph is crafted in white gold and adorned with 313 emerald-cut diamonds, totaling 176.88 carats of pure brilliance. As if that weren't enough, a 1.21-carat ruby adorns the crown. The watchmaker has produced only one of these timepieces, further enhancing its value. 3. Paul Newman. Rolex Daytona, $15 million. This model is said to be more than a watch, it's a labor of love. The story goes back to 1968, when Joanne Woodward gave Paul Newman this Rolex Daytona with a message engraved on the caseback, "Drive carefully, me." The actor, who was as passionate about racing as he was about watches, could hardly have imagined that this gift would become a treasure for watch collectors and fetch $15 million at auction. An interesting fact, since this price would exceed the sum of 9,030 Rolex Daytona models based on their 2017 prices. Too bad not one of them touched Newman's wrist. 2. Patek Philippe, new limited Grandmaster Chime, $17 million. To celebrate its 175th anniversary, Patek Philippe has created a collection of limited edition watches, including this Grandmaster Chime 5175R. We can affirm that it is the brand's most complicated wristwatch and one of the most complicated in the world. The Grandmaster Chime is also Patek Philippe's first double-faced wristwatch, with faces that can be interchanged by rotating the case. This is made possible by a very user-friendly rotation mechanism housed in the bracelet links. Essential information such as the time, minutes, and date can be read on both sides. 1. Patek Philippe Grandmaster Chime, $28 million. After a 5-minute bidding war, the Patek Philippe Grandmaster Chime became the most expensive wristwatch ever sold at auction, surpassing the aforementioned Paul Newman Rolex. The final price? About $28 million, which may seem like a lot of money, but technically you're getting 2 watches for that price. Think of it as a very expensive buy one, get one free deal. The Grandmaster Chime has 2 dials, one on the back, and 20 different functions, including patented striking modes for each watch. Yes, it's a lot of watch for a lot of money, but it also raised a significant amount of money for a good cause. A portion of sales will go to Duchenne muscular dystrophy research. We're certainly not talking about just any piece of jewelry here, but truly luxurious watches worthy of a celebrity winner. A prize that is really worth it. But now tell us in the comment section, which one would you like to own? And which one captivated you the most? If you want to feel worthy of walking the red carpet and being photographed 1,000,000 times over, one of these watches will undoubtedly be your companion. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy the video, and we'll see you next time.